Israel's Prime Minister says the country's ground forces are now at the height of the battle as they make advances in the northern half of the Gaza Strip. This evening, the military announced that troops have now encircled Gaza City. It comes as the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza has been hit by a deadly Israeli airstrike for a third day running. Our international editor Jeremy Bowen has this report.
Tonight, Israel says it has surrounded Gaza City. An army statement said that soldiers were attacking Hamas positions, places where it launches rockets and killing terrorists. Israel has increased the tempo of its ground war in Gaza. The army said its soldiers needed to be resilient in the coming weeks, and a ceasefire was not on the table. The troops have been visited by Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
I call on the uninvolved. Get out, move south, because we will not quit our efforts to eliminate the Hamas terrorists. We will advance and win.
Hamas has released its own video. It said of an attack against an Israeli tank in the Zaytun area east of Gaza City. Hamas said it would make Gaza a cursed place for Israel and send more of its troops home in body bags. Israel hit Burej refugee camp as its prime minister once again ordered Palestinian civilians to move south for their own safety. Burej camp is inside the area where he told them they should go, and thousands of displaced people were sheltering there. The UN Human Rights Office has said that so many civilians have been killed and wounded in Israeli airstrikes that it has serious concerns that these are disproportionate attacks that could be war crimes. A girl was pulled out alive. She asks the stretcher bearers, "Are you taking me to my grave?" The men try to reassure her that she's not dead. Across Gaza, unknown numbers of dead are buried under the rubble. In Burej camp, he's asked who he's looking for. My four children, he says, "Oh God, why did you leave me and die?" Israel says it wants to destroy Hamas. Civilians, it says, are killed because Hamas uses them as human shields. This is Jabalia in northern Gaza, hit 3 days running. Israel defends its targeting vigorously, but it also knows that pictures like this every day make it harder for its allies to push back demands for a ceasefire. The boy is saying, "We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong." The UN says 22 people sheltering in 4 of its schools were killed today. It isn't clear what hit this one in Jabalia. What is clear from the evidence and UN statements is that nowhere is safe in Gaza. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, Southern Israel.
Well, almost 4 weeks into the war in Gaza and thousands of Palestinians have been killed, wounded or are missing. The death toll and the emotional toll, as you saw, is growing for those trapped inside. Our special correspondent Fergal Keane has been working with journalists on the ground in Gaza to file this report from Jerusalem.
All of their days, the war follows them. Exhausted and scared, wherever they flee. Nearly 1.5 million displaced, living under a threatening sky. It can take away parents in an instant. Ahmed Jabir, age 16, was maimed and lost his mother and father as they were fleeing from North to South Gaza during an Israeli airstrike. I wish that my life could go back to how it was, he told the BBC. To have my life and the lives of my people go back to how it was before. But in many places, there's nothing to go back to. Only the sounds in the stillness. of the men searching for neighbours, for families. Somewhere beneath this.
There was a house here, 7 floors, 2 apartments in each. Many people lived here, going about their daily life, eating and drinking. Tens of people have been killed and injured, and there are many still under the rubble.
Some few of Gaza's besieged have been told they can leave. Foreign passport holders and some of the wounded are being allowed to cross to safety. This was the scene at Rafah border crossing with Egypt today. Yesterday we filmed Tala and her disabled brother Yazid. Turned back because their names were not on the list of the fortunate. And today again they failed. We managed to reach Tala by phone tonight.
And I'm just wondering for you, emotionally, how it is.
I don't think I'm gonna lie when I say I think everyone is barely alive. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. But I think it's emotionally devastating. I used to really love sunsets, but I don't anymore. Because at night, the situation gets really hard.
Day 27, nearly a month of war, and no end in sight. Fergal Keane, BBC News, Jerusalem.